everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey here, and welcome to another 2022 movie review. And again, like I said, this next one was not in theaters, but it was on a streaming service. And I know people are going to probably find this a little controversial that I watched this, but let me give you my review, and that is for The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Yep, that's the name of the movie. It's technically a spin-off / sixth installment of the whole Ice Age franchise. However, this one was made by Disney Plus, or by Disney itself, because it didn't have the little Blue Sky Studios logo in it anymore. So that was kind of surprising. But this movie not only is it a spin-off, it does kind of take place after the events of the original films. But without really, I guess it doesn't really matter if I spoil one specific detail, and that's that when it comes to the movie taking place after the events of the films, the movie, or it feels like it doesn't even feature the events of the fourth or fifth movies. I mean, it did have a little bit of the fourth movie's plot in the movie, but it feels like a lot of the characters that were introduced in the fourth and fifth movies all gone, and which is kind of surprising. Well, actually, not really surprising considering in the fifth movie, even though I really, just like my friend Matthew Davis Media, I hated the way the fifth movie went, and mostly the fourth as well. But for those of you who don't know, at the end of the fifth movie, Manny and Ellie's daughter Peaches gets married and goes off to do her own thing, and that's probably why we don't see her in this movie. Now there was a few characters that did not return for this movie, which I'm glad they kind of didn't. But this movie solely focuses around Buck and Crash and Eddie specifically. And Crash and Eddie, for those of you who don't know, are the adoptive stepbrothers to Ellie, who thought she was part possum in Ice Age: The Meltdown, until she realized that she really was a mammoth. And the movie kind of shows a really big adventure that Crash and Eddie have with Buck, and that specific detail of the plot and the way it goes, I thought it was decent. I mean, but it definitely feels like Disney really Disneyfied this movie, because, like I said, what you might find surprising is the only original voice actor to come back from the films was Simon Pegg as Buck Wild. Crash, Eddie, Ellie, Manny, Sid, Diego, all of them are voiced by totally different people in this movie. So we didn't have Dennis Leary come back, or Josh Peck, or nobody like that came back. Josh Peck was one of the voices for Crash and Eddie. I forgot which one he voiced, but like I said, Dennis Leary voiced Diego in the original films. But in this movie, all the characters except for Buck have been recast for this movie, which was kind of surprising to me. But again, a few of the downsides I have with this movie is the fact that it basically, like I said, there was the whole point of their adventure down in the Lost World that we saw in Ice Age 3: Dawn of the Dinosaurs was kind of surprising. And not only that, it was also kind of strange and wondering why did they do this. But it did kind of push out Crash and Eddie from the whole story, because now they're living down in the Lost World and doing their own adventures, and this whole movie is basically about developing their characters a little bit more. And I kind of thought that was a decent idea. I mean, again, it's not a masterpiece, but I can definitely say it's better than the fifth and fourth Ice Age movies for sure. I thought the first 3 movies were fine. They were classics. But then when the 4th and 5th movies came out, it was just going downhill. This one seems like it kind of brought it back up for me a little bit. But again, it's not a masterpiece. If I recommend whether or not you guys should watch this movie, it's totally up to you. I probably wouldn't watch it a second time, but or more than 2 times. I've only seen it once, but I probably would not watch it more than a second time. But anyways, let me give you my rating of this movie. So, for my rating of the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, spin-off to the Ice Age films, I am gonna have to give this movie, surprisingly, a 3 out of 5. Yep. I mean, 3 out of 5 is not great. I mean, even though it's in the middle, I still think it was not as good as I wanted it to be. Now, I definitely thought the first movie I saw this year was definitely better than that, but just do not expect this movie to end up on my best films of the year list for 2022. But anyways, that's all for now in this video. And like I said, the next movie I will be watching this year is in theaters, however. I know I said the first real theatrical movie I would see would be Uncharted, but I am actually going to be seeing another movie next week called Moonfall, so keep an eye out for that video. But anyways, that's all for now, and I will see all you dudes in the next video.